management process. So if you have Mustafa available, please let Mustafa join the session. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the session. So any question related to fruit strategy, so we also give an offer those who show interest in the strategy summit. So we give them like a 3 months subscription free for their organization. So those who wants to try fruit strategy, if they uh, show you the kind of intent, so today tomorrow, so you will get a 3 months licensing free. So this is something as part of the event organization, what we do. Okay. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, organizers, who can who are in the back office. So Mustafa,
Yes, I
you are
am. I
available?
don't know whether you hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I
Okay,
cannot
let
see
me
you
try
as
and
such.
I have no clue how this works. Let me put this and then I see the green light here, but I don't see myself in the.
Ah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Oh, okay. We see you
Twice.
twice.
Let me remove
Okay.
one. Let me
Lovely.
remove.
Fantastic. So thank you, Mr. Mustafa, for joining the session today. Okay, so thank you all viewers, participants, and experts. Very nice to um, see you all here. So let me give a quick round of introduction to Mr. Mustafa. So we are going to talk another very interesting topic: business transformation. Is it going to stick? That is the topic. I would like to personally see what is it content, Mr. Mustafa. So Mostafa Hebbassi is a seasoned executive and leadership coach with over 30 years of experience across FMCG, telecom, retail, and construction. He has held senior roles in top firms like P&G, PepsiCo, Mars, Kraft, Mondelez, and Lafarge Holcim. His expertise spans broad advisory, strategy consulting, and executive coaching, supporting organizations in growth, transformation, and leadership development across the global markets. So, thank you, Mr. Mustafa, to join the session today. So, I welcome you. So, you have all the time, okay, 45 minutes, 50 minutes for the questions and the lecture. Thank you very much. We are unable to hear you. Earlier, we were able to hear. Now, maybe you need to try the other one. He is joining in a moment. He just Mustafa will join. Just he's trying to, yeah. Not yet. Voice is not audible. Can you try? No, not yet. You are able to hear us? No, we cannot hear you. Please try your mic once again. No problem. No, not yet. Not yet. No, not yet. Not yet. Earlier we you logged in, right? So we were able to hear in that. Okay. Can you just try once again if you don't mind? Praveen, you have something to help, Mr. Mustafa? I think when you rejoin, you need to give permission for the audio and video to share. Just try once again. So you had logged in twice. Uh, Okay, you tried, right? So why don't you try? Last time we are able to hear you. Just try again. So you logged in two. Maybe the other one was having a voice. Can you try, sir? Hmm. We can see your
What
screen.
about now? Do you hear me now? No?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I have a
Yes.
weird.
Please.
Okay, no.
No problem. Just share it. It's a little tricky. You need to share the active because I got
What
confused
about now?
myself. Okay. But it has a very nice feature. You need to use it.
Do you have? Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, screen is visible, but not your
I'm talking
presentation.
about the
Maybe it's
presentation. That's
coming
what
up.
I'm talking about. No.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Well,
No, not yet. So why you select the screen, share button, and then you get no. I think you need to reshare it once again.
okay.
Select the share button, then you get
Share screen.
a window.
Okay.
Maybe you need to
Allow
get the first one. You need to select the
allow
which
to
window you want
share
to share.
screen. Okay.
So share the window,
What about
whatever you
now?
want to
Share the
share it.
screen. Yes. Can you see it?
No, not yet. Yeah,
Okay.
we got it.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Please
Okay.
go ahead.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you, Sheikh, for the introduction. I mean, there is. I always say this. You know, I've worked for over 30 years in different geographies with different companies from blue chip companies to local companies. But I always like to introduce myself as Mustafa, the father of Sarah, Rita, and Miriam. These are my three daughters, and that's my biggest achievement in life. So that's how I like to introduce myself. Anyways, hello, do you hear me? Okay, great.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So
Yeah.
today, the session I'm gonna share with you today is basically around business transformation and how can we make it last. And
Oh, there is some issue with the audio now.
Okay, maybe because somebody else is connected and his mic is on.
No. You and me only. And yeah, you
Okay.
can hear now. Yeah,
Okay,
please.
so what I'll be talking about today is business transformation and how we can make it last. Okay, the background sound is gone now. You still hear me? Yeah. Hello. Okay.
I can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
I can hear you. Very good.
Great.
Now it
Great.
is
Great.
perfect. Please continue.
So, it's not about complex framework, but it's more about a process that I tried, with a lot of companies here in Morocco and elsewhere, it's a very simple framework that I'll be talking about at the end. But before I get to that, let me just, as an introduction, share with you basically the outline. So, as you know, the era we live in is full of disruptions. The word that's been used to qualify this era is VUCA, volatile, a word that's uncertain, a word that's complex and ambiguous. So every organization has to deal with this and has to transform or adapt You can call it whatever you want, but the real issue is how can the company make this transformation or this adaptation last, and how can she or the organization, how can it build it into its DNA. I will start by defining business transformation. We'll move on to understanding why transformation fail, and with a big proportion. We'll move on to what are the pillars that make a transformation or a change resilient and sustainable and stand the test of time. And I'll end up with sharing with you the company transformation process, which is a facilitation process that we develop, and we'll have a few conclusions at the end. So let me start by defining what we consider as business transformation. Um, Business transformation is not only an upgrade. Business transformation is a fundamental rethinking of how the value is created within the organization. It involves deep change across processes, technology, business models, and most importantly, the culture of the company. It is about reimagining or rethinking both strategic and operational models and beyond. Several things or drivers can basically cause or make the transformation necessary. It could be shifts in the market dynamic. It could be breakthrough in the technology that you're using. It could be disruption in the supply chain. It could be changes or evolution or major shifts in customer demands. And obviously, in the recent years, all the pressure the companies feel about or sustainability in a world that is volatile. 70%, as I started off saying, 70% of transformation fail. And if you ignore the signals and the warnings, this could lead to significant investment losses and obviously a major competitive disadvantage. So, what are the reasons behind failure in transforming? I grouped them into three buckets. First one is misalignment strategically. The second bucket is around people and culture challenges. And the last one is about execution deficiencies. So it could be, for the first bucket, lack of clear vision and strategy, misalignment of the leadership of the company, lack of shareholder buy-in in the early stages of the transformation process, and obviously short-term focus versus really focusing on long-term impact. These are these might sound simple, but these are extremely important, and that's what we actually encounter whenever we work with companies and try to understand why they are not progressing with their transformation project, and why basically they need sometimes they need external help with their transformation projects. Obviously, the people and the cultural challenges are also an important bucket. the resistance and the aversion to risk is a natural feeling that you have to manage and to get over. As you'll see on the next graphic, lack of customer focus is one of the key things that basically make the transformation to fail. And the last bucket is about execution deficiencies. Poor execution can ruin the best plans. Sheikh, you've talked about the importance of building and bridging the capabilities gaps, talent shortages, fatigue that the employee develop over time if basically the process takes too long or the transformation takes too long and puts the pressure on the organization for too long, and fatigue of the employees basically kill momentum. You're still hearing me, yeah? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. But because I have no way to
Yeah, yeah, I got
to
you. I
know,
got you. We
yeah.
can hear you. No
Okay,
problem. I'm watching. Yeah.
okay, beautiful. Um, the I wanted to share with you basically the some of the most famous failure in terms of transformation. The first example is Kodak. Kodak used to be the pioneer of photography. They invented digital photography, but unfortunately for them, they basically disregarded it as they considered that it's a major disruption of their existing paper and film business. So they disregarded it. And basically, the fear of disrupting their core model led to them to become irrelevant in the business. The second example is Blockbuster. Again, they dismissed the streaming wave, sticking to their physical rentals and the late fees they were enjoying, while at the same time, Netflix embraced the change and their streaming surge. Third example is Sears, again, a retail giant who used to have so many stores and their catalog was so famous. But unfortunately, they didn't pick up the change in and the shifts in their customer base that preferred the e-commerce. So they kept their outdated models while Amazon at the same time soared. And the last example is Nokia, and this example is something that I have lived because I worked for a while for one of the major retailer and wholesaler of mobile phone and operator services in the Middle East. For the ones who know, a company called Axiom Telecom, and we used to distribute all brands of mobile phone. And Nokia was basically the best seller. Was and I still remember me in the I think in the Jitex of Riyadh, basically selling the N95 like baguettes. Nokia was dominant, and nobody thought at that time that anything could happen to Nokia. But underestimating the smartphone revolution and sticking the Symbian software basically killed them. And the famous saying of their CEO, "We did nothing wrong," is very relevant. Apple and Android units innovated, and took to the market. So now that we've talked about what is business transformation and what makes it fail, and few examples, let's move on to the blueprint of uh, business transformation success. And here again, I have some 8 points that I clubbed into 3 buckets. One around vision and alignment, people and culture, and execution and adaptability. So securing unanimous stakeholder buy-in to a clear vision and to a clear strategy in the very early stages of any transformation uh, project is paramount. And you wouldn't believe, the number of cases that we encounter in the field of board members that not fully embarked or not aware or not fully aware of transformation. So that's obviously a clear must-have for successful transformation. Uh, in terms of XCOM and leadership of the company, the alignment and the commitment and playing an active sponsorship role in for the transformation. So there is in this you cannot have the usual competition between sales and marketing, or between sales and production, or legal, or the whole XCOM and leadership of the company have to be acting as one and clearly displaying full commitment and alignment and sponsorship of the transformation project. The no transformation can happen only with board members and XCOM members. All levels of employees have to feel owning the transformation, engaged to realize and to make the change. They need to be trained, receive the training, and upskilled and trained to avoid fatigue for whatever gap that has been identified. And the program has to entail for rewards for innovation and risk taking, obviously calculated risk taking. One of the elements that is extremely important as well is to balance short-term return on investment and long-term vision. You cannot just focus on one alone. You have to balance and be basically maneuvering between the two. Avoid obviously short terms and expecting that a major transformation produces results immediately is unrealistic. Um, and you need to build adaptability of the organization for future disruptions. The execution, any plan that is rigid and doesn't allow for adaptability, agility, last minute change is a plan that's doomed for failure. You have to have agility. You have to have flexibility within your plan. Adjust, adapt, and move on. That's what you basically need to do. Um, you need obviously clear metrics. Whatever you measure you can track. If you don't measure it, you cannot track it, and you cannot basically count on being successful at the end. Uh, the the approach is obviously iterative. You try, you succeed, or you fail, and you try again. I mean, the subcomponents of your transformation project. So the whole approach should be iterative, and whenever, and that's what we keep on telling our clients, is change is now. You cannot, if you're working with them and they identify a change in their um, operations, or the change uh, in the way they conduct their meetings, for example, or the number of meetings. They cannot wait. Oh, let's wait until, let's put it on a piece of paper and in a presentation, and we'll get back to it. Um, once we finish the whole process. This doesn't work. What we tell our client is change is now. Whenever you identify an improvement, a change to a process, uh, you know, any kind of change, you basically implement it right away. And that helps with basically having quick wins and showing momentum for the organization. Uh, One of the elements of a successful business transformation is is basically how to embed change in the organization DNA through communication, and communication is paramount. Having a transparent, continuous communication within the organization, uh, the updates, what's happening, what are the changes that are happening, where are we in the transformation. All this is extremely important to keep it live, and so that the whole organization and all levels of the organization basically absorb it and adopt it. And obviously, a picture for ourselves, leadership team should also accept an outside facilitation, and obviously work, as I'm gonna show in the framework that we propose, work not only transversely but also vertically. So leadership is the bedrock of any successful transformation. So effective leaders and strong leaders enable their people rather than direct. So they give them the tools, the means, the skills, the competencies, so that they can change. And obviously, transformation is a risky business. So they have, as leaders, the obligation to foster safety and allow for adaptability. So, what are the key traits of leadership in a successful transformation? Um, Leaders provide clear vision and a pragmatic approach as well. They reinforce the acceptance of transformation, um, so that it's embedded in the culture. And the famous saying of culture eats strategy for breakfast. Uh, Balance out, as I said earlier, quick wins, so that we can build momentum with long-term impact. Um, Walk the talk, so demonstrate their willingness to adapt. Uh, this is not about a rigid plan, as I said earlier. This is an iterative process. Okay, empower and enable the team. we cannot emphasize it strong enough. Celebrate small successes so that you reinforce the momentum. Maintain, as I said, continuous and transparent communication with the different stakeholders, and be open for external help and facilitation. Here are a few examples, again, of successful transformation. I mentioned it earlier, Netflix facing blockbuster dominance anticipated the shift in the physical rental to digital streaming. So they leverage technology, um, and leverage as well the data they had, and built on customer-centric, data-driven approaches to build their content and deliver a beautiful experience for their customers. Second example is Coca-Cola, that used social media analytics on their Share a Coke campaign to basically personalize their bottle and drive customer engagement and brand loyalty. Under Armour, a sports brand, they expanded beyond the physical sportswear, acquiring fitness tech applications and companies so that they can integrate both physical product and the digital experience so that they can amplify the brand loyalty through connected ecosystem. So, for the interest of time, um, I'm going to move to the common traits of these successes. Is that these companies, the four companies, listened to their customers. They were vigilant and attentive to the customer's need, anticipating them at sometimes. They leveraged data, embraced technology breakthrough, and obviously reinvented their business model. What you can't measure, you can sustain, obviously. So the adage has all its meaning. So for transformation to last, you need clear metrics and accountability. This means looking beyond financial performance and its sustainability. That's what measures the health of your overall business and profitability. You need to track your revenues, your market shares, streaming from new initiatives and transformation ideas and initiatives. Um, your operational resilience and efficiency need to be measured. One of the measures could be the savings that you generate, or the productivities, or any of these elements. Employee engagement scores, all the 360 surveys to check the adoption and the buy-in indicators of the employees, and the customer, obviously, customer retention, satisfaction, the NPS measure that help you measure the external value creation. And last but not least, your innovation funnel strength, so that you see how many initiatives are in the pipeline and what level of development they are, or their readiness, so that they can be a good indicator of your uh, capability to face future disruption and growth. Um, Let me move now that we've talked about defining transformation, why it fails, few examples, the pillars of success, what was the threat of effective leaders, and some example of successes. The metrics. Let's move now to the framework that we propose. And as I said, it's a very simple process, and but its aim is extremely important, and what it wants is uh, unlocking collective potential of the organization. Uh, the facilitation harnesses internal intelligence and collective intelligence to drive shared and meaningful transformation journey. It's about giving a meaning to the whole organization of the transformation and future challenges. Um, it creates a mobilization around the company transformation project that's supported by all and supported by the new vision. The objectives of the process that we propose is to mobilize the executive committee around the transformation project so that they can collectively champion it across the organization, create a synchronized and collective drive at all level of the company, fostering a new internal mood inspired by the company challenges and the company objectives, formalize the internal leadership culture, and as we said, the leadership, the culture in general of the company is paramount, but the leadership, the way you lead within the company, is also extremely important, so that you can manage the current and the future challenges. And basically, one of the objectives is also to identify improvements in the internal operational mode. It's about harnessing collective intelligence within your organization. There are 6 principles for conducting a successful company transformation project. Uh, the process is as important as the content. So the journey extremely important as the destination. And what we keep telling the people or the companies we work with is please trust the process. It will deliver. So that's of extreme importance. The feedback loop is another principle. So the content of each step basically adjust on the output of the previous step. So it's a build-up, as we say, so that we ensure agility and continuous refinement. It's a living process. It's not a rigid plan. It's the group. You have to account for the group dynamics and their evolving needs so that you can adjust the process. You cannot just impose a process and be rigid about it, while the dynamic when you're coaching and facilitating, you feel different dynamic. If you're in the process of deploying a step or a stage, and you feel there is a disconnect or there is a misalignment, so you stop right there and you try to build the alignment and build the ownership before you move on. So the process is lively. Okay. Um, as we said earlier, the change is now, so immediate outputs are implemented whenever they are reached. Uh, Capitalize on the effect of each stage helps build momentum and demonstrate tangible uh, progress. We keep on telling the organization we work with that the expertise is within the organization, and basically all the consultants of this world basically build on this expertise. They obviously complement it with other stuff, but that's the key components of any plan is the expertise that you have within your organization. And our role as facilitators, as coaches, as leaders in strategy is to help this internal expertise to emerge and to promote its deployment. And this obviously empowers the teams and fosters their ownership. Transversality, in all the steps, and you'll see all the workshops that we conduct, uh, big part of it is done transversally. So you have in the same team. Sometimes we were with 20, 30, 40 people from different departments. So you have different BUs, different geographies, different departments represented and working together so that you can build transversality. Okay, so that you can build on what's common and make sense to everyone. But at the same time, we have a series of vertical, we call them vertical workshops, that basically caters for and works with specific BUs, specific departments, the finance department, for example. We work with them so that they can identify the specific contribution to the transformation. So it fosters unity while accounting for diversity of perspectives within an organization. So the process, as it is outlined here, basically works on building engagement and alignment. We start with individual interviews of key stakeholders, board members, XCOM members, so that we can get their perspectives. Once we've done all the interviews, we work with them to nominate a steering committee that will guide and manage, the logistics, but also everything around the project. Excuse me. Then through a series of interconnected workshop, for the XCOM, and then we extended from the XCOM to the lead team. Sometimes we go to the top 100 leaders of the company, and then and then we have specific thematics or themes that we constitute transversal workshop around. And then you have the vertical workshops, and that's specific to a BU, specific to a geography or specific to a department. And the aim of all, we don't do it often, but we also had a few instances where we actually invited customers into workshops. And basically, the idea is to synchronize the vision, uh, emphasize the new dynamic, and obviously capture the input of the different people participating into those workshops. And the aim is to touch uh, the all level and 70% of the people of the company whenever it's feasible. We also use ambassadors at different stages so that they can help consolidate. You do a workshop of 1 day, 2 days, and the ambassadors that are nominated by the group basically consolidate the work of the workshop and share it with the people so that we have instant alignment. And the whole process culminates with a major roadshow that encompasses internal, external communication plan of the transformation project. So this is not a rigid process. It's a dynamic, interactive process designed to build collective ownership of the transformation. I still have 15 minutes. I'll conclude and take questions, if any.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Hello?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So while I compile the questions, please can you just touch up the whole topic once again? So you have another few more minutes to go. Yeah. So while we go, we'll look up the questions.
Okay. Fine. So I basically put this takeouts from what I just said. Mobilization of the XCOM and the stakeholders, the key stakeholders around the vision and the strategies is paramount to collectively drive the change. Embed the transformation into the company DNA through different cycles, strategy cycles, and the culture and the mindset. Invest in resilience and build modular change system. This is not a one-time off project, but a continuous cycle that basically it's an evolution, in the process. Cultivate agile, resilient, and regenerative and customer co-creating organization. Empower leaders to enable rather than the empower the leaders so that they can enable the rest of the organization rather than direct and provide the safety net for the rest of the organization and ensure adaptability. And last but not least, take account of the early warning of transformation failure, which could be turnover, major turnover in leadership, budget cuts, plateaued metrics. These are all indicators that the transformation is not working. Obviously, if you have major changes in the leadership team while you're in a transformation, then there is a problem. And account for adaptability and foresight, as we've seen with the Kodak resisting change while Netflix embracing reinvention. Okay, so that's it. So I'll use the next 10 minutes to take
Yep.
or 7 minutes to take questions if any.
Yeah, we have around 10 minutes. Okay. Uh, so it's very interesting topic. So there are so many things you have very clearly explained, Mr. Mustafa. Okay. So what I like most is the take into account early warning signs. Okay. So that is the most important part. People try to ignore early warning signs. Let it be a technology, let it be the people related ones, or any other regulatory things or whatever. So what do you?
Yeah.
How does that organizations the best practice? How do they do that?
Sorry, come again, just so that I can get you right.
No, I'm talking about take into account early warning signs
Of yeah.
of transformation failures. Uh, what is the best practice? How the successful companies do that?
I mean, there is not a single formula, but I mean, it's because these early signs could be market shifts, if, as we've seen between, in the blockbuster example with Netflix, there is a shift. People like convenience. So you have to identify these major trends, within the customer base. Convenience, connectivity, all these signs, you cannot just ignore them. You have to, as a company, be, aware of them and integrate them and ask yourself the question every day, how is this impacting me? How can I account for this in my in my strategy? You cannot, you know, no company, for example, for in the consumer goods could ignore, convenience, or could ignore the sensitivity now of customers to the artificial components of of food or addition to the food. So all these elements are extremely important, and you have to account for them. Uh, uh, you cannot just ignore them. When it's technology breakthrough, if you're in the technical field and the technology field, and technology is a major basis for your business model. If there is a breakthrough, if there is a change, if there is you have to keep your eyes wide open, so that how is it going to impact me. There is this new thing. How is it going to impact my business model? How can I integrate it? How can I leverage it? All these questions have to be uh, continuously bothering you as a leader of an organization. If I take disruption in supply chain, what's happening currently with the, you know, or what has happened, sorry, during or after the COVID pandemic, the disruption in supply chain. How is this going to impact me? How can I go around it? How can I integrate it? How can I become resilient to this? How can I work on new routes to get my exports or my deliveries on times and stuff like that?
So, Mr. Mustafa, there is one question from Mr. Yahya. Okay, so which department should lead the whole process? Are they the strategy department or any other organizational excellence department? What is your experience in this? Because it's almost always the question. Yeah, it is the responsibility of the senior leaders, but somebody has to take the ownership to drive this. transformation. So what do you advise?
I'll tell you what I've seen, what I have seen that worked. Yes, you can have, the strategy people, if the company has a strategy officer. Uh, yes, sometimes it's the finance. Uh, but the only thing for me that worked is when I saw um, an XCOM team fully aligned and fully owning the project. A steering committee could have the strategy, representative from strategy, sometimes from HR, sometimes from finance. But in my view, the the end responsibility is within the XCOM, and they have to act. Every single member of the XCOM has to act as an active sponsor of the change or of the transformation project. Steering committee can work the nitty gritties, can work the logistics, can work, when the workshops are done or how we are progressing and the progress meetings and all that stuff. But the XCOM is is the ultimate leader, and the responsibility ends with them. That's my takeout from the the
Fantastic.
different companies I worked with.
Fantastic. So how long is the duration? Like when you talk about strategy transformations of different organizations have their own time periods. What is the best time to start the the business transformations? When is it? Like I know you have already mentioned it in the presentation. So when is the right time to launch the business transformation initiative?
You're talking about not the facilitation. You're talking about the business transformation itself. The business transformation basically starts whenever you identify a major disruption to your business, or you identify a major opportunity for your business. It doesn't depend. For me, frankly, I've seen it, falling within when you start your strategic plan, to make it coincide with it, and that's the start. But I also saw it in instances where there is a major thing happening and the whole organization basically gears up towards starting a change. And frankly, the most frequent timing I've seen is a change in a CEO of the company. A CEO comes, he wants to have an impact, so and he wants to mobilize the whole organization and embark them with his project. So that's when he starts a transformation project,
So
and
new
he brands
leadership
it.
or any other um, dynamics in the industry. Okay, the change in the key competitive advantage, and also key change in the trends, new technology or new processes. Okay, so when is the right time comes, of course, when a new leader comes, he would like to make an impact and look into that. Okay, yeah, but
Yeah,
that's not almost always successful. So not it's not that a new leader will make impact almost always, but sometimes you may create a problem also. We have seen quite few
yeah,
organizations where yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's clear, but I mean, it's but at the same time, I you see a new leader that comes to an organization with an existing excom. Obviously, there are people who can work. I mean, he's gonna take the first 2 months or 3 months to evaluate. the people he can continue working with and the people he cannot work with, or if there is a major uh, discrepancies of view, he's going to share his vision, what he wants to do. And obviously identify also the people that will work with him. And I don't think if if you have to make a breakthrough within the organization, a major transformation, you cannot just do it as they say in French, catimini. It has to have. It has to be clearly spelled out for the rest of the organization. We are transforming, and this is why we are transforming, and here is how we are transforming, and we are gonna put a process in place to transform. So that's the communication again. Communication is extremely important to make it successful. Uh, I don't know whether
Fantastic.
I answered your question or not, but
Yeah, fantastic,
okay,
fantastic.
okay,
So it was a pleasure hearing you, Mr. Mostafa. So
same
it's
here.
important topic. If there is any questions to the audience, if you have any questions unanswered, please post it. We'll make sure that they get answered offline, okay, at any time. And if you want to talk to Mostafa, so we can just organize any call or whatever, share the contact details, whatever we want to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
We can do that.
So we will do that. So I take this as an opportunity to thank Mr. Mostafa Hebbassi. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much for joining and giving such a wonderful lecture. So I truly
My
appreciate
pleasure.
your time and effort and
My
insights.
pleasure.
So thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank
Excuse me, Sheikh. Is this was this recorded?
Yeah, yeah, all sessions are recorded. It will be published, and the link will be shared to you, along with
Okay,
the
great.
presentations, whatever
Okay,
with the
beautiful.
permission of the speaker.
Obviously,
All the
obviously.
presentations also will be kept available in the portal and shared
Okay,
posted in the links. So
I'll.
nothing to worry about it. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay, great.
everything. So before thank you, sir. Thank you very much.